So here we are with our bonus tag along section, and I'm really excited about this because I am terrible at it, and AJ is very great at it. So AJ, just go ahead and take me through the process of first off, explain what a dashboard is, why it's helpful, and then take me through the process of creating a dashboard, what I would want on that dashboard, so on and so forth.
Okay, so with the dashboard, what this allows you to do is take things that are in analytics, all like in multiple different places. So they're in acquisition, they're in audience, they're social, they're all over the place. And when you create a dashboard, you can bring all that information together in one place.
Okay.
And the other thing you can do is set up to email yourself that dashboard. So if you want to start, say, looking at analytics on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, you can set up a dashboard and have that emailed to you. The great thing about that is I know a lot of church communicators are so busy diving into analytics, going into a third-party solution like analytics, and actually looking at the data and having time to do that. Most people don't have that time.
Yeah.
Whereas if you set up a dashboard, what you can go ahead and do is have it emailed to you. You're probably checking your email on a weekly basis. You look, that analytics report comes in, you look at it, you get a really good cross-section of what's happening on your website.
That's great.
So just want to show you. So dashboards are up at the top here. When you come into analytics, you click on that. Let's go ahead and create a new dashboard. So there's different things you can do. You can import from a gallery. And
Sounds pretty.
Yeah, it actually is pretty cool. Let me put it that way. What these are pre-created analytics solutions. So people have gone into and created dashboards.
Cool.
So there's this social media dashboard. You click on it, you can add it. There's a bunch of different other types of dashboards. So I'm going to preface this saying a lot of stuff is geared towards e-commerce that's in here. Mm-hmm. So there's like I said, preloaded dashboards, or you can do a starter dashboard, or you can create a blank one. Today I'm going to create a blank one. I'm just going to call this one our new dashboard.
Oh, very appropriate.
Okay, create dashboard. So in dashboards, what you have are widgets, and these show you different information. And so you've got a matrix, you've got a timeline, you've got a map if you want to see that, table, pie chart, bars. And then you've got the matrix. So what are you looking at? So we've got percent of exit, percent of new session. So you've got all these different things, and you can search in here.
That's a lot.
I'm going to show you kind of a trick that I use, and it's more of a tip. So let me just hit cancel. We're not going to create a widget from here.
Okay, so we created the new dashboard, but we're not adding anything just yet.
Yeah, so we're going to let that load. Sometimes the dashboards take a little bit longer because Google's taking something from inside their, inside a report and then bringing it to this new report that you're creating. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. If you go to almost any report inside, audience and over here, it seems to be.
I had to refresh the page. Did you refresh, or did it just refresh?
I just refreshed.
Yeah,
so.
I was going to say I had to. I tried to do this last week, and I had the same issue. It just hung on that page for, I don't know. I was pretty patient. I waited 20 seconds.
Yeah, no, it takes a while, and it's just something. So what I'm going to show right here is a geo. So we're going to go to location because I know a lot of churches like to know certain things. So this is where your visits are coming on your website.
Okay.
I'm more interested in seeing kind of what's happening on a city level. Mm-hmm. So where this church is, they're in San Diego, Poway, Los Angeles. These are where people are visiting their site from.
Okay, very cool.
And I just want to see, let's say this Poway I know is a neighboring community. I just want to track that on a regular basis to see if we're increasing the number of people in that community.
Okay.
So we've got that. Up here, you look at this little thing, it says add to dashboard.
Ooh, I think I know what that does.
So you go ahead and you select your dashboard. So in this case, I'm going to go to new dashboard. Mm-hmm. I'm going to click on the table and click add to dashboard. Boom.
Very cool.
So what this allows you to start doing is you don't have to go in and create, add a widget, know what search fields you're looking for, know what matrix, know what filters you need to add. You can go into any report pretty much and just say, I want to have my content drill down on this page. And the content drill down just gives you your top 10 pages, what's happening on them, page views, unique page views, average time on page, bounce rates. So all those things that we said are important.
Yeah.
These are the top pages on your website. So we just go to add dashboard, select the dashboard. No, we don't want to do a completely new dashboard. We want to go to that dashboard, table, add to dashboard.
Very cool.
So you start to get into things. So if you're on a regular basis looking at certain pages on your website or certain reports in Google Analytics, you can start pulling them together. So right here, here's our top pages. You can see page views, unique page views. One of the things I like to do as well is on these reports, they've kind of set everything up for you. So if you wanted to say, I don't really care about page views. I'm more interested in, bounce rates. And then hit save. So I just changed this report to show me the pages with the highest bounce rate.
Interesting.
So, there's different things that you can do in kind of those matrix that you want to see.
Yeah.
So you can get in there and start playing around with it. I'm going to show you one that I actually like doing, and this one's kind of like a social media thing. You could also do it for regular visitors.
Okay.
So what I'm going to go here is I want actually a matrix. I'm going to change this to percent of new sessions is right there. I'm going to add a filter. This dimension in here is going to be the social. And then it is the referral one. Let's see where that is. Source referral.
Okay.
Contains, and then yes. So this is a little bit advanced. You don't have to do this. I showed you the other metrics on how to do that. Oh. And so what this is showing is how many of my new sessions are from social media.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. And so if you're ever wondering, is my social media effective? You can say percent of new visits coming from social media for this church is 29%. The site average, so those are people probably coming from search engines, is at 46% for this church. So, you start getting into very information that is valuable to you. And so you can start playing with some of these more advanced reports and playing around with that stuff. And you don't need to. A lot of the stuff is already pre-done for you. So acquisition, you come over here and you want to look at social and you want to do network referrals. And what this report is doing is telling you how many people are coming to your website from these social sources. So let's just add that to the dashboard and we can look at it just a little bit longer. And like I said, sometimes the dashboard is kind of a clunky tool, so you might have to refresh. I'm just going to put that table, add that to the dashboard. And so now we've got, these are people visiting your website and their social visits. So this church had from Facebook for this time range, we're May 20th to June 19th. They had Facebook, 224 sessions came from Facebook, and this is the total page views.
Wow. So it looks there like what they're doing on Facebook. Tell me if I'm getting this correctly. 224 sessions, and of those 224 sessions, they combined for a total number of just under 1,300 pages viewed.
Now let's just make sure that's actually what it's saying, or if it's not just saying page views. So we're coming here. Yep, that's exactly what it's saying because it's filtered by social source.
Wow. So then breaking that down into a percentage, it's what? 6 pages per visitor, like 5.5 pages per visitor.
And you can start to see some interesting things.
Yeah.
So like one of the other things I would do with this, I'd come over here to the sessions and I'd look at how much time. So instead of page views, I'd change that to average time on site for this one. And so let's see. Average time on page. No, that one's not going to... I'm sorry, It's average sessions. That one have given you any information whatsoever. But, I mean, you get the idea. I mean, you can start playing around with these. Some of these you can get average session duration. Save that. And really, one of the nice things about these dashboards is you can't break anything up. It's going to be on there and it's going to work. So, interesting to note, they had one person come and watch Vimeo videos from Vimeo and they spent 33 minutes. That is a sermon video.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what that is.
Has to be, yeah.
That's what they're watching. But you can see the Facebook people are coming and they're spending almost 10 minutes on the site.
So that lets you know that, hey, whoever is doing your Facebook there, I mean, sure, there might be an anomaly here or there, but by and large, I mean, to get the average that high, whoever's running Facebook is doing a good job. And, as a leader, if you are a communications director and you're taking a look at the session stats for your staff, I mean, that's cause to go and affirm that person and what they're doing, affirm that team. So I guess that's how you could carry over it into a leadership tool as well, affirm the people who are doing good stuff. So.
Yeah, and another thing that you could do is, I know senior pastors sometimes start blogs and they wonder, is this effective?
Yeah.
So coming in, creating a dashboard around blog traffic to their blog, you can start seeing some interesting things.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That brings up a whole nother conversation of content creation and quality and what do people want to hear. And so let's wrap this up. Let me ask you this. If I don't know what I want to manage, because when you and I, before we started recording any part of our conversation, you were saying the best thing about dashboards is knowing what you want to monitor. If I'm starting brand new, is there any resource out there? Have you produced anything? Have you seen anything? Are you working on anything that says, hey, if you're starting from ground zero and you don't know what you don't know, here are some of the things that you really will want to track beyond the things that we talked about in the podcast? Is there anything else out there that you can point to or that would be a good reference?
I'm not really seeing anybody in the church field kind of talk about this dashboard thing. Yeah. I'm creating some things around it, and I'm going to be creating some unique dashboards that churches can download. And so, I mean, it really gets into how much time you have. People say, oh, I don't have much time. Well, you can create a dashboard. I'm going to do it. I'm going to create a dashboard. You click a link, it installs on your website. You got to do a little bit of configuration, and I'll walk through the steps on that. But I don't see anybody doing this, and it's really sad because outside the church, so when we start talking about marketing in different areas, they're big on these things. Yeah. They get reports weekly, and it's just a way to measure success online.
Yeah.
And are you spending your time in the right way? And creating these dashboards can do that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just bite the bullet and create a couple dashboards for churches. Now that we're talking about this, and just give them away for free, because that's more my style.
Well, so I think the best takeaway then would be to follow you on Twitter. I mean, that's where you and I connected. That's where we have continued to carry on the dialogue. I've appreciated everything that you've done to encourage me, and I do everything that I can to affirm what you're doing, because you are doing some great stuff. So follow AJ on Twitter. I'll have links in the show notes, but really it's just twitter.com/AJ Finlayson. So AJ, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. This has been really a big help to me, and quite honestly, it's again, low-hanging fruit that we've got to be doing this as a church. We don't want to be wasting tithe dollars, but more importantly, we don't want to waste this digital real estate that could be bringing people to know who Jesus is and transforming lives. So appreciate it, man.
Definitely. Not a problem, Dave.